We got coaching hires, maybe some more coaching fires. We're still playing matchmaker. Welcome to the show. This is Up and Adams. We've got the divisional round on the horizon. I call it the throwdown round because it's sexier. I have thoughts on all of it. Bills fans mad at me. Broncos fans mad at me. I can do no good. I can do no good these days. The internet's a dark place. Bleak 182, as I like to call it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We appreciate that. We have such a good Super Bowl lineup cooking. We, as always, not to be surprised, we're going to crush it. And speaking of great guests, have you ever heard of Kevin Durant? He's on the program today. He's the best. He dunked against the Bills. I hated that, but we'll talk to him about the Bills. The Bills hate me. The Bills probably hate me because I don't like the Bears. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Am I going to Chicago? Probably. I can't wait to hear from Chicago Bears fans on that concept. And so will, as a guest today, we have Torry Holt. Rams-Bears playoff battle. Let's get into it with the should-be already, but of course, future Hall of Famer. Matthew Hamilton, what is the first thing I texted you when you texted me that John Harbaugh has parted ways?
Giants, let's go.
I'm in a mood this morning. I'm in a very good mood this morning. I'm happy for it's because I'm happy for Coach. Coach found his way. That's why when these coaches get fired, I'm like, you're leveling up. You're switching it up, and I've got this great opportunity. This is the first domino. Of course, Ian Rappaport of NFL Media, 5-year deal with former Ravens, coach John Harbaugh. The Giants are striking. It was a perfect fit. It could not have been anything. It would have been such a huge disappointment if it was anything else. And it's the first time, I gotta say, in like 3 years, Giants fans, well, I was happy for you with Scatterboo and Dart and all of that. I'm so, like, what a breath of, I don't even know, Hammy, because you're the Giant. You grew up there. You grew up loving them. I lived there for 12 years, but it didn't really hit me because it wasn't when they were good or relevant. But it was just like you have the friend who's like always getting into the bad relationship, you know? And it's like, oh, okay, Ben McAdoo, okay, I get, like, I can, if you like him, there must be something great about him. And then it's like, oh, and then the next one, you're like, maybe our friend learned their lesson. Let's go meet him at dinner. I can't wait to get drinks with the new boy. And then, you know, it's like a Joe Judge, and it hasn't worked out. This is like, finally, you're going to Rayo's, or you're going somewhere on Arthur Ave in New York to meet your great friend, bad in relationships, new partner, and you're like not even expecting it to be great, but you're like, and all of a sudden they've got like good on paper, like great to the waitress, like it asks you about you, like your friend finally found the right fit. What does that feel like as a Giants fan?
Yeah, I mean it's elation here with Giants fans this morning. Elation. This is what they wanted. This is what they've been wanting for years, you know. And I was thinking about it too. This is the first time that they've hired a Super Bowl winning head coach to take over. Like obviously Parcells and Coughlin were
like maybe date someone who has a job. Yeah. Maybe date someone who's like, I don't know, no offense to people, you know, like, I'm not going to make fun of men today. I've had enough with men today. So, but you know what I mean? Like, they finally brought somebody that like made sense. Like, oh, I see this. You're within 10 years of each other in age. You both like want the same things, the values, like it works. It works. And it's a great deal. Now, tell me about Shane here. Good?
So that's still, I guess, to be determined here. We'll see kind of how that unfolds. We've heard kind of mixed things that might be reevaluated. Harbaugh might want his own guy at the top. Haven't heard any clarification on that yet. We do know, or at least it's being reported, that he's going to bring Todd Monken with him as OC, but we don't know if Shane is fully safe yet.
I mean, what do you think Dart thinks about this? That's all I'm thinking is who's the right coach that's the whole process, who will get the best out of a rookie who maybe needs to learn to slide, and there's all these things in his second year. I don't know. I feel like I'm looking at this as a turnaround that can happen super quick with an OG coach. We're seeing all these like young, you know, sexy bucks like hanging out and like doing their thing. But if you look at this, like I wouldn't be surprised. Let's take a look at Dart here. I'm watching him. He could be much better. 2026. Playoff team, Giants, question mark. Is this your quarterback that will lead you to the playoffs with this new OG, good on paper, knows how to like order the right bottle of wine off the wine list and on Arthur, like he's the guy. He's tenured, he's mature, he's got it. I mean, think about it, you know, This isn't the situation Dable inherited in 2022. You have Daniel approaching the end of his rookie deal, Saquon, like that was going on there, not much else. You have a foundational quarterback. You have star pieces around here. Neighbors, star, coming back. Abdul Carter, star. Brian Burns, the season he had, star. So if you can nail this draft, and that's the question mark, is it Shane? I hope it is. I love him. I really do. I don't know what went on with John. I think John is he's in that upper echelon of guys who can say, I want my own situation, and that's the contingent on the hiring, or let me see how it goes with him. But if I don't like him, he's out. So we'll see. But he's there right now. He hasn't been fired. He's there. Maybe they'll work great together. Maybe they'll know each other. I actually don't know their ins and outs. That's a Schragery thing that I will have to read about because I don't know. But I like it. I feel like I'm all in. I'm all in on the Giants here on what day is it? What day is it, guys? I don't even know. January 15th. January 15th, year of our Jackson Dart. I am saying that the Giants are a playoff team next year. Clip it. Freezing cold. Take it. Whatever. Tell me to get back in the kitchen. Do whatever you guys want to do out there on the internet. Okay. And why I'm being a little sassier than usual this morning is because I delivered something yesterday that got misconstrued, probably because of my own fault and some layers of emotion and like lack of layers of critical thinking that exist in the ether. However, I do want to address this Bills bit that I did yesterday, okay? Broncos fans, I'm not picking the Bills, just like I did not pick the Vikings to go to and win the Super Bowl. I was saying you better win because you didn't go get Aaron. I'm saying you have to win the Super Bowl because all we hear from this fan base and the expectation is Super Bowl. I don't want to hear about the defense. You have the number one passing defense. I don't want to hear about the lack of stars. You have maybe the most dominant player in the AFC. Two of them. You have the two best players in the AFC. I'll get there in a minute. The expectation should be a Super Bowl, so just go win. Let that embrace you. I'm not a sports psychologist, but I'm sure it's like you're sort of like buffering your blow, I feel like, to the Bills. And I want to see, like, you go all in. You don't have the path. I don't want to hear the but. We have Tre'Davious White on the show tomorrow. He has no buts, no ifs, ands, buts. He's got bigger, loftier goals for himself. He wants a pick six. He wants to destroy Bo Nix. Like, I kind of want to hear that from this fan base that I think, like, what a better story would be for them to finally go and get it. The pressure is on the Bills. I'm putting more pressure on you because you can handle it. Okay? Mahomes, Lamar, Joe, out of the field. It is your destiny. I don't think Andre Reed would hedge. Maybe you have to get him on the show. Trey did, and you'll see that tomorrow. I was sort of saying like these injuries to these non-household name, that's not an excuse right now. You got to just go and win, and you can. That is not saying Denver can't. That is not waver. Denver's a force. And by the way, if they were favored, maybe I think the Bills would win. The fact that they're underdogs in this one, like that is something that I can't even imagine. The sort of like antics that are going on in that building. Sean Payton, not the one to not bring in cases of money into the locker room or give speeches or motivational techniques. Like, they enjoy and embrace being the underdog. So it's nothing to do with Denver and my firm belief in them, which I've held since Sean's been there. Denver does have advantages in this game, though, right? Broncos. It's this debate. Here's how I see it. Hamilton, you can maybe, this is how I was seeing it this morning on the call before coffee. BC. So, different person, right? It's like the age-old argument, and this includes sort of defense, the complete team, Eagles. Why it was very easy for me to say the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl last year, whatever, or that they were the most, it's like your belief in that, you got to have that, or you got to have the best quarterback. When we show the playoff picture to people, to Hall of Famers who come on our show, they even like the Dwight Freeneys. They're like, best quarterback, boom. It's going to be him. It's Stafford. Stafford will beat Caleb because he's still the best. Maybe outside of Stafford, Caleb is the best in the NFC going into next year. That's a great argument. I like seeing that. That's great. But right now, like Stafford, you can't not give it to Stafford that like they'll have the edge because of him. Who has the most complete team? And the Broncos, it's like complete team versus best quarterback, but it's not just the best quarterback. We'll get to that. Like, it's a very frustrating thing when you'll see Kevin Durant like literally having like a push and pull like I am right now of like who to pick in this game. And you should, I would like to know what you guys are doing at Up and Adam show over at FanDuel Sportsbook with all the great offers and generosities we have throughout the weekend. The Broncos are super complete with no holes And yeah, the Bills have some holes. You can run on them a little bit, and I'm sure that'll be exploited. Is that kind of like how it's seen in the world right now, Hamilton? Most complete team versus most dominant, top-heavy player?
Yeah, I think so. And I do think, as you're saying, like, the Bills are more complete than they get credit for. But like you're seeing here, there are some holes with that Bills team, specifically with the run defense, which we saw Jacksonville get after a little bit last week. And as you can see here, they've given up the second most yards per carry in the NFL this season, only to the Giants.
ETN, I don't know. If the Broncos get the run going, that's like what this comes down to, right? RJ Harvey, if he can take this game over, because you know James Cook will. So RJ's got to be that. And we sat there, we're like, is he the Joker? Sean, tell us he's the guy. Like, what's, I don't know. I'm looking at this, the other little keys to this game. Ed Oliver might be back for Buffalo. Big difference if he can be anywhere close to the guy before missing 3 months with an arm injury, right? Bicep injury.
Yeah.
Big advantage for the Broncos run game either way. Broncos #2 ranked defense, by the way, the other key to this, if we're just talking between friends before going to FanDuel Sportsbook to do our thing. Looking at this matchup, me and Hammy, in all the discourse about who has what to work with, we don't have receiver. I told you what you have. #1 pass defense. You've got Josh Allen, the best player in the game. I didn't even mention James Cook, the Yak King in Khalil Shakir. James Cook, is he the best singular offensive weapon in the AFC? Yes. He's put up, look at this is actually insane. Nearly twice as many yards as the next closest player, leading the way in yards per carry, in touchdowns, explosive plays out of this group. I don't know, after the season, he's actually top 5 among running backs all time in yards per carry. Just a shade, just a little trickle behind Jim Brown. Is he the most, not only is he the most dominant, maybe the most underreacted to, underappreciated superstar in the entire league right now. Incredible, does not get talked about enough, and we all know why. Because other things are talked about, and he kind of like does his work quietly, and he's amazing. I do want to throw this out there. Next gen stats. You know I didn't find this. Matthew did. Matthew, can you take me through this really quick before we go to break?
Yeah, so according to Next Gen Stats, there's only been one other team besides the Bills in NFL history that had the leading rusher and the #1 pass defense in the NFL. That team was the 2024 Eagles, who, as we know, won the Super Bowl last year.
Insane. So do what you will with that information. So there, we're just saying, we're gonna take a short break here. Torry Holt is on the program. Loved seeing him pop up with Eisen and the fellas over the weekend. Let's talk Rams. It's your team versus my hometown team. Who asked you to do that? That's such a, of course. Torry Holt on the show. Woo woo! I would love to do that. Is that okay? Okay. Okay, big news. Hammy, do you have a feeling about the Niners?
If Fred plays in this game, especially, there is a little something there. I know they just lost to the Seahawks 2 weeks ago in a similar situation, but I think if Fred is back, and Pearsall being back matters a lot too, which maybe we'll get to tomorrow.
Chester texted me, my father, and he goes, I really like, because obviously Bears, he goes, I really like the Seahawks. Like he's been, I'm like, Dad, really? Like, out of, my dad knows some stuff, I'm with him on this. And then, but the Niners just like they're like grittier in a fight, You're picking them. Like, you don't want to fight with him. Fred Warner back at practice. This is a game changer for me. Really a lot. He's moving out there. Look at him. What? The team sort of, maintaining the goals here to have him ready if they get to the NFC Championship game. Fred yesterday said he's trying to play on Saturday. Of course he is. I'm not doubting him, by the way. Enter peptides, But I do want to say the Niners linebackers, probably one of the biggest reason that we're even discussing this, like why this is even like a possibility in the world. Eric Kendricks, all-pro, former all-pro, always an all-pro, 33-year-old. Garrett Wallow, journeyman. He's only played 40 snaps, both of them apiece for this defense heading into Sunday. So they balled out in that win over Philly. They combined for 21 tackles, 10 run stuffs. Kendricks had 2 TFLs in the game-sealing pass breakup on the 4th down play at the end, as we all saw. I'm kind of fired up about this. They filled in, they dominated, the game wore on. Like we saw, like they were just super important. So shout out to them, little attaboys, extra attaboys. was supposed to be a weakness Philly could exploit, right? Instead, they just sort of were the rug that really held the defense together. And it's kind of crazy when you think about where they came from this year. Kendricks joins the Niners around Thanksgiving. Had not played until 3 weeks ago. Wallow cut by the Broncos earlier this year, hilariously enough. He had racked up, 4 tackles like once in his 4-year career, 4 different teams, before leading the way with 11 for the Niners on Sunday. Tremendous performance from both of those guys. Tremendous job by Saleh to make this work defensively, despite having just 4 guys out there who started in week 1 for him. So whether Warner goes or not this Saturday, and I wouldn't put it past him, these two, shout out to you. And what a factor they'll be on Saturday, whether Warner suits up or not, right? Very cool story of the Niners and the scar tissue that they had in a season that's been full of wild stories, and we'll get to some of those. Okay, and now Torry Holt's like shot out of a cannon because he's like, stop speaking well of my NFC West foe.
Here's Warner dropping and throwing deep. And it's caught by Torry Holt at the 5. What a play. Roll right, throw back left.
Plus. Joined now by 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro receiver. We're still missing one thing. We got the ring. One thing's missing. Maybe we'll talk about one of the greatest receivers of the 21st century, Torry Big Game Holt. How are we feeling? The highlight we just saw, 2001 NFC Divisional, dare I say, beatdown of the Packers, 50-yard bomb from Kurt Warner. How did you come up with that catch?
Amazing concentration, and a flat-out dime by Kurt Warner. I never took my eyes off of it. And that play, that was a 7 deep, one of our prominent plays in our playbook. And it was called, and I ran it perfectly, and Kurt just dropped it right in there over 2, and I caught it between 2 guys. And again, just pure concentration and want to. Big play in our game. I think we went on and scored, but yes, that was a beat down of the Packers, and Aeneas Williams in the game balled as well.
Oh my gosh. I mean, Aeneas Williams is my Danielle Hunter in the way of, like, I look at Danielle Hunter as the most intimidating player, like Ed Reed, like Aeneas, so scary. So scary, and like so lovely, all at the same time.
So good,
yeah,
smart,
like
and
up here.
All those things.
Gosh,
all those things.
Those were the days. Hearing Madden just fired up everyone in the control room. Everyone's texting about it, and we're fired up. You were in Charlotte. I saw you on NFL Network with Rich and the Fellas. Wild card game, of course. The Rams have Chicago. Bears fans pointing to what is being termed as struggles for the MVP, Matthew Stafford, in less than ideal weather. What say you?
Oh, it will be cold. But I don't think that impacts Matthew Stafford. Kay, you know how I feel about Matthew Stafford. We had a conversation about him the last time I was on the show. He is really good. He's tough. He can make all the throws in any weather. And more importantly, he has total command of the offense. And there's so much offense that Sean McVay can put out there. We've seen 3 or 4 tight ends. We've seen the 2-back combination with Corum and Kyron. We've seen the wide receivers with Puka and Devontae Adams. So there's so much offense that they can get to that can help protect Matthew Stafford and keep him fresh. More importantly, they got to keep him upright. They keep him upright, he'll be just fine. I don't think weather will play a factor. If you look at what they did last year in Philly, it was weather there. It was cold in Philly last year. It was snow that came down and had an opportunity to win that game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they didn't. So I don't think weather, yes, it will be cold, but I don't think weather will be that much of a factor where it will impact the Rams' play and what they have and what they are looking forward to, which is to ultimately get to the big game.
Every time I scroll on TikTok, I'm very plugged into NFL stuff, of course, but like Chicago stuff, and it's a lot of Bears showing how cold it is in Chicago. Just a lot of like, "Yo, Stafford, you're ready for this, Devontae." Like, and I'm just like, can't they run the ball? Like, if only they had a run game up against a defense that's bottom 5. Like, they could really just kind of run the crap out of the ball, right?
They could, and like I said, they got enough offense. They got tight ends. Hopefully they'll be getting Dotson back, which is their starting guard, and maybe get him back into the lineup. And I think if McVay is making it a point and an emphasis to our backs all week long that we're going to run the football, and not only are we going to run it, we're going to run it well. I think and I believe that they will come out and do just that. Which also, if they do that, which I believe they will, it helps set up so many other things, play action, some boots, some all, things that really highlights the things that Matthew Stafford does really well in this offense.
And then Puka can do his thing. Heavy load last week for him, 10 catches, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. You know what that's like, leading the 99 postseason in receptions during your Super Bowl run. How special is his playoff run going to be? How confident are you that it is going to be one of the best we've seen?
Yeah, I'm very confident, because if you look at Sean McVay and how he feels about his wide receivers, look at what Cooper Kupp did years ago and the run that he had at the wide receiver position under Sean McVay's offense. It was phenomenal. And right there, look at Puka Nacua. They put him back in the backfield right there, isolated him one-on-one with the safety, and he was able to break him off and get in the end zone. Puka Nacua does so many things: jet sweeps, slants, deep posts, dig routes, run after the catch. The guy is really, really good, and he's on pace to do something very special in our league in the playoffs, which is production, production, production. That's what we're all about in Los Angeles, is production, production from the wide receiver position.
Puka, by the way, just earned his first team All-Pro nod.
Yes.
Which is amazing. Best season of his very young career. Sure. NFL's best, so I'm going to be sitting here in July. Will we be talking about him as the NFL's best receiver, or is it still Justin, Jamar, JSN, Puka?
Sure, I think Puka Nacua, the pace that he's on, he'll continue to rise. As we mentioned, Jamar Chase being a top guy, Jefferson, we got to put Puka Nacua up there. Obviously, you mentioned JSN as well, but Puka Nacua, his football team is in the offs, so he gets an opportunity to show the world what type of player he is on a consistent basis. And I love his work ethic. The fact that he's available in the late part of the season, he's able to practice. They're able to put in special teams for him. Yes, Puka Nacua is certainly one of the top wide receivers right now in the National Football League.
Is he? Why isn't he the best? Who's better than him?
For me, I still have Chase, but Puka's right there. Again, when I love production, I was a productive player myself, love consistency. I think for the most part, he has been very consistent this year. And going forward, I think he continues to be more and more consistent. And he has an offensive coordinator and a head coach that loves wide receivers, and he loves putting the ball into the hands of his wide receivers. So Puka, as long as he stays healthy, as long as he stays fresh, as long as he continues to work and practice and do the things that he needs to do, he will remain a top wide receiver in our league.
I spoke to my favorite receiver, Davante Adams, earlier this week. Maybe about just how much, it's so fascinating. I want it for him so badly. I want him to have the taste of a ring, and I can't even imagine what it is actually like to be him and thinking about, keeping maintained on what's ahead in Chicago, a team that he's crushed his whole career. And then, the heaviness of that. How do you think a Lombardi, you're the perfect person to ask this to, how does a Lombardi affect the way we view a receiver, all-time great, like Davante?
Oh, man, it to me, it just validates the type of career that Davante Adams has had. He's achieved all the other accolades, all pros, Pro Bowls, receivers of the year, touchdowns, weekend after weekend, 10-plus touchdowns year after year. He's done all those things statistically that we expect of an elite receiver like Davante Adams. The only thing left is to hoist that Lombardi trophy. Hold on, Kate.
Okay, I'm back. I'm here. Here I am. I think, sure.
This is what he wants.
Okay, I was like,
this is what he wants. This takes him and his teammates to the next level. And this is what Davante Adams is chasing. If you watch, I saw the interview that you did with him. He's locked in. Yeah. He's a focused man. He's unselfish. Loose. He is just as excited about Puka Nacua's success as we are.
You know what?
And I've said it before. Puka has had the privilege and had the honor to play with Cooper Kupp, who showed him how to be a professional every single day. Also playing along with Davante Adams, who also shows him how to be a pro and a productive player day after day. But Davante, this is what he wants.
I hope he gets it. It's so interesting that you make that point. In talking to him, if I'm making an interview with Devon, and I've interviewed him maybe more than most players, it's always he wants to talk ball.
Yeah.
I need to give him a play to talk through. He just sort of lifts out of himself. He's always wanting to talk about other players, but usually he'll take some love for himself. He really did not. He did not want. I had all these questions, Torry, lined up about him, and the touchdowns and what's work. And it wasn't until I brought up Puka and Sean, and he really wanted to just talk about them and the team aspect of this in a way that not was different because he's always like that, but I don't know, it really stuck out to my entire staff. They're like, oh, shoot, we're going to skip all these questions and just go for the bigger picture stuff because he so just wants it for everyone and everyone wants it for him. So hopefully they come up with it. Now, let's move to some other topics. So wait, hold on. What do you mean other topics? Are the Rams winning this game? What's happening?
Yes, the Rams. I think the Rams are winning this game. I think they go into Chicago and they win this game. Now, I will say this about the Rams. And this is such a big flex, too, right now, holding the Super Bowl trophy. This is such the ultimate flex. I said this about the Rams. They have to be better on the defensive side of the ball, particularly in the passing game. Their corners, they need to be a lot more stickier in coverage than they've been over the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, particularly last week against the Carolina Panthers because that was the most recent game. They got to be sticky defensively, the corners do on the back end. They got to get to Caleb Williams. They got to try to find a way to frustrate Caleb Williams. Getting back to the old Caleb Williams when the frustration sets in and he's not as locked in and his focus on his job. When Caleb Williams is free and he can scan the football field and find his receivers, he is really, really good. So Verse, Young, and those guys got to get after Caleb Williams. Sticky coverage on the back end. And then lastly, Kate, for the Rams to really secure this win, they got to be good on special teams. They got to be good on special teams. That is critical. And the weather may be an issue. So they got to handle the football really well, but they got to be good on special teams and executing the game plan there.
I want to hit some other news from around the league. The Giants just finalized a deal with John Harbaugh to become their next head coach. It's the only move I thought could happen, should happen, the perfect fit. When you see two people that just sort of belong together, what do you make of it?
A sound mind coming into your building, a winner. A leader, a guy who establishes processes and procedures, and he sticks to it. That's what the New York Giants need. They got to allow him the time and the autonomy to achieve those things. And I believe if they do, you'll see success there in New York. John can still coach the game. He still wants to coach football. I think those players on the Giants have looked at his body of work afar, watching him there in Baltimore. So there will be instant respect once he comes into that room. And he's going to demand high level of football from the New York Giants. A great hire for the New York Giants. I love the fact that they brought in somebody that's a winner and someone that has shown a lifetime of stability coaching in the National Football League.
I want to show you the divisional round. Sorry, Control, I'm going rogue here to talk about this weekend's game. I call it the throwdown round. Take a look here. Over in the AFC, Bills-Broncos, something that's highly debated. You'll see Kevin Durant's on the show right after you, Torry, and he was really having a tough time picking that one because maybe you heard what I was saying. It's complete team, maybe some home field, and institutional knowledge and experience with Sean Payton there calling the shots, but more inexperienced quarterback versus the best player in the game, leading rusher, maybe most dominant threat in James Cook. But there's all of this, in my opinion, nonsense about the receivers, that they don't have a receiver, they don't have a number one. Khalil Shakir led the league in yards after catch this year. What do you make of the argument that they don't have receivers and that somehow hedges their success?
And look, maybe they don't have
maybe you could show
a number one receiver, a household name there at the position. But collectively, you mentioned Shakir, his ability to get it in his hands and his run after the catch. It's pretty doggone good. And then last week we saw a Brandon Cooks sighting. And Brandon Cooks did exactly what he's always done, and all he's done since being in the National Football League is to go deep. And he provided that element to this Bills offense. You saw Zero right there. What's his name? Kate, help me. The receiver Zero from Florida State.
On the Bills?
For the Bills. Yes.
Coleman? Keon?
Coleman. There we go. Coleman. his ability, he has tons of ability. The thing with Coleman is, it's just maturing and growing up and accepting the fact that you're in the National Football League and the expectations for you is to show up and produce.
Yeah.
I think collectively, this football team, the wide receiver position, collectively, they're okay. And the reason why I say that is because they have a guy in Josh Allen that can get all of them the football anywhere on the football field. You mentioned Josh Allen, one of the best players, if not the best player in the National Football League. You have to make sure you contain him because he can run it. He can throw it. He's just a physical, dominant football player. And then I love James Cook. James Cook, it's like when they put the ball in his hands, it's like electricity shoots through his body. It's like he shot out of a cannon when he touches the ball. He brings so much energy, so much urgency, so much explosiveness to that offense. The Broncos, I know they're really good defensively. Their ends, their ability to get to the quarterback.
One of the best.
Is one of the best.
Benito.
Benito is outstanding. Josh Allen is a problem. He can go on the road, obviously, and win ball games. They have to account for him for 4 quarters. They are never out of a game when you have someone like Josh Allen.
How much confidence do you have in the Bills that it's like, you know, like, are they winning this game? Are they able to just push it? Are they able, you know, I guess I'm just looking at, there's a lot being made of them not having this receiver. And of course, like your Rams, they have 2 studs and they got tight end play and Kyra and everyone looks great. But Josh has a #1 pass defense, let's not forget. He has James Cook. And then I'm looking over at like the Niners. They've got Juwan Jennings. They might have Pearsall back, but it's like Juwan Jennings and Demarcus Robinson. Like, it sounds like here's what I'd like the internet to know. Does Torry Holt, Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, should be Hall of Famer, do you like the Bills' weapons in this?
Yes, I do. I
Tell
like the
me
Bills'
more.
weapons in this, and I believe the Bills go into Denver and get the dub.
Okay, thank you so much, Torry Holt. We love you so much and appreciate it. By the way, your Holt Brothers Foundation, not by the way, this is incredible. We're celebrating 25 years?
Yes, we just celebrated 25 years last year, Kate. Now we moved on to 26.
So what's in store?
Yeah, so we're super excited. We have our first fundraiser coming up March 21st here in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's called the Ultimate Game Day. Corporate teams can participate in competition, including a flag football tournament, cornhole, as well as tailgate. So that's going to be super fun. And we've had guys come out and coach those teams like Calvin Johnson, Cliff Crosby, Dante Hall, had a number of guys in the National Football League that's come out and supported us. And then lastly, Kate, we have this free book called A Kid's Book About Cancer. A Kid's Book About Cancer. It's our Kickoff to Courage program. And families can use this book as a resource to kick off the conversation about a parent's cancer diagnosis. So that's what we have in store. 25 years has been explosive, and we had a really good time. We're having a good time of servicing our community here in Raleigh and multiple communities now out in Los Angeles as well and in St. Louis. But we're looking forward to continuing that. But this book right here, A Book About Cancer, kickstarts the conversation with families about a cancer diagnosis. And we're super excited to be able to share this book with our families and our kids that we support.
I love that. And you also have a flag football tournament, which I love, other NFL legends. If you need a Kay Adams to MC this, holler at your girl. 21st of March.
Kate?
Listen, I would love to get involved in that. I'm doing a lot of flag. I'm really, really interested, and it's really great.
My people will reach out to your people.
Are you going to Chicago for this game?
As of now, yes.
Okay, I need to get your info. I'm going to bother you. Like, I'm going to go to this game and get to see Torry Holt and Devin Hester. I'm going to lose my mind, I think. I'm going. I'm scared to go because of the weather, but I'm going. I'm going. I will see you this weekend. I don't want to hear ifs, ands, or...
I got my hoodie and I got my shirt. I'm ready.
Okay, we're going. We're going to the game. We've got it. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Bye, Torry.
Thanks, Kate. Peace.
We'll be back after this. Bye, peace, with Kevin Durant after this. If you are irritated by every rub, how will your mirror ever get polished? If you're irritated by every rub, how will your mirror ever get polished? Whoosh. Can we see the Sean McVay? Thank you.
And Mike being on your staff,
Yeah.
Matt, he's played at Ben Johnson 3 times this year.
Yeah. What would you guess? No, you know what? We watch the tape, we do our work, and Matt is a very close friend of mine.
Matt LaFleur, obviously big in Green Bay.
I've watched that an irresponsible amount of times. I was doing some editing yesterday. I have a project. I'm sure my team is listening to this. Like, that's what you were doing? That's what I was doing. Watching that over and over and over again. I just love it. I want the camera on, all I keep thinking is, and like Sean's gonna do with Ben Johnson what he might, and then if he loses to him, that is such an FU to that whole crew. And it's like, it's very like the Sharks and the Jets, like there's like a divide, there's no, that was a perfect, I can't get over the perfection of the preciseness, no fat on that answer. Yeah.
And you think like there's some history there with those two too. Like the Rams have had a couple tough games against the Lions in recent years, and Ben Johnson. So, God, it's going to be so good.
Very good friend of mine. Although I don't want this idea. I hate the idea that like Matt helped. Sean doesn't need anyone's help. I'm so sorry to inform everyone. Sean's great. Yeah. Devontae told us that it hasn't even been I didn't even think he meant that. Hasn't it been a mention in the bill? I think it is known, as Game of Thrones would say. It is known. It is known. Gods be good. We'll see what happens. And I think like I think Ben does this kind of stuff because he likes this kind of stuff. So then it's like, I think Sean knows that. So why,
Why feed into it? Yeah.
It was perfectly done. I'm gonna watch it a million times. I can't wait. I mean, Sean has the coaching advantage, right? Welcome back to Up and Adams. Big thanks to should-be Hall of Famer Torry Holt for joining the show ahead of Rams and the Bears in Chicago, a frigid Chicago, and Hamilton keeps freaking me out, putting weather updates into my notes here. Really cool of you, my friend. Yesterday, I sat down with 15-time NBA All-Star Kevin Durant. How in on the Texans is he? Very in. He's found a new love, that Kevin Durant. He's got an idea for Mike Tomlin and his next gig, and he gives you his FanDuel Sportsbook picks for the divisional round. Did you have to dunk on my hometown team? I
mean, I had to do something, Kay. We were losing.
Why the dunk?
It's just an efficient shot. Yeah, it's like the tush push. Like you know what's going in.
28 points. Huge win. So fun to watch. I'm cracking up, Kevin, watching this because I've seen you've had so many game winners. Everyone that I've seen this season is ISO, step back, wave off your teammates, shoo, and then drain the three. What was it in this moment that made you want to drive and dunk?
I mean, it was just natural instincts. That lane opened up. And I'm like, this is an easy 2 points if I go try to dunk him. I'm an efficient player.
Kevin, they were not having it. I was cracking up out loud. Nobody wanted it from you. Everyone was scared. Everyone's like jumping out of the way. They did not want to be on the poster.
Yeah, it was a good business decision, man. Because I had the right away, man. I don't think they were stopping me right there.
Can you kind of describe like what that feels like?
It's like a quick shot of espresso.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's you use a lot of energy getting up there and dunking it, and you need once you dunk it, it gives energy to the whole team, to the whole crowd. Just takes a lot out of you. I drank all black coffee, so that's not easy drinking all black coffee sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So a dunk is not easy to get up there and use all your muscles at this age to go up there and dunk. But it gives the energy you need afterwards.
Here's my question. Is a dunk more satisfying to Kevin Durant than draining a three?
No.
No?
You get one more point. I like points.
I like points. You do. You just don't like talking about them and how many you have. Anyway, keeping it in Chicago, into NFL land we go. The Bears look amazing. Caleb Williams, a DMV guy. We've never talked about Caleb Williams. What is it like watching a guy from where you're from-ish have success like that?
It's always amazing seeing the guys from the area do it on the big stage, you know, just try to support from afar and try to watch as much as I can. Caleb is, especially after his rookie year, obviously his rookie year was going to be tough, but he had high expectations. And then to come back the next season, new system, new coach, and come back and just turn it all around, have a great season, and then win a playoff game, man, I'm happy for them. I want to see how far they go because they playing good ball right now. And playoffs is a lot about momentum. So we'll see where they take it. They came back from down 21-3, where it wasn't playing well. That's usually what they've been doing all season is coming back. So, you know, hopefully they start off better next game and cruise into a W.
I thought you maybe liked Chicago. You wear this White Sox hat all the time. Are you a Chicago fan? Like, why do you wear this White Sox hat all the time?
I'm thinking about getting a new baseball team to root for, and I just like White Sox merch. I always liked it, so maybe I should just become a White Sox fan.
I'd like to talk about Houston. They've won this playoff game. They're doing all this heavy lifting to get Kevin Durant to, like, be for them, you know? You're crushing Houston. I know you're a Commanders fan, first and foremost, loyal guy that you are. 10 straight wins. Have they gotten you to love them?
Oh yeah, for sure. But
what's that been like?
It's been fun watching them play, you know, and then, you know, the city is just excited around this time playoff football, and they out there defensively just setting the tone. I think people love defense, man. So they're going out there getting points on the defensive side of the ball and the offense out there clicking. That was a dominant playoff game, 30-6.
Yeah, you think they can go all the way?
I mean, football, man, it's just any given Sunday, man. You don't know. It's tough. Every team, you know, as you advance, they're all pretty much equal in talent and, you know, coaching. So it's really about who wants it more, who's going to make the extra play. And that's why football is such a great sport, man. You never know around this time. Anybody could go on a run. And I see a couple of teams with good momentum.
You've always had so much respect for the game, all sport. And then Mike Tomlin, I feel like especially, like you and I have talked about Mike Tomlin a lot. When you saw he was stepping down, what were your thoughts as someone who clearly has a lot of reverence for him?
Man, just a hell of a career in Pittsburgh, just legendary career in Pittsburgh, a coach that in that community will never be forgotten, just set the tone every day, love the game of football, love coaching, love, you know, guiding and developing young men into being pros. You know, man, I just got so much respect for his journey, and just to understand. I don't know if it was a mutual thing or if he got fired, but it feels like it was like a mutual. He stepped down and they had a conversation, but it sounded like it was just super professional and a great. It was not a sour ending over there at all. It just feels like this is the right thing to do for both sides. And a lot of people's excited to see what Mike Tomlin will do. If you go back to coaching, that'll be amazing. If you go on TV, if you do anything around the game of football, he'll add value anywhere, you know, so.
Isn't that like the biggest sign of like the highest success you could have is just having a decision to make?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I tell people a lot. You know, having decisions could be good. It's tough, but that's a great position to be in, man. I feel like he's in that position right now. As well as a couple other coaches that got fired this year, they showed their value throughout their times at these teams, and their careers can continue. So,
where do you want to see him on TV? If you could put Tomlin anywhere, what's like the perfect place for him?
I would love to see him Monday Night Football.
Why Monday night? Tell me.
In the studio.
In studio.
Yeah, I just like seeing the coaches up in the studio like that. I would love to see him like I love what John Gruden does on YouTube. He breaks down the game in detail. I would love to see him do something like that. Bill Belichick did that before he went to UNC.
And you were watching those?
Yeah, hell yeah. I love coaching. I love coaches. I just love the strategy behind sports. And so I try to watch that stuff as much as I can. Then I love the personalities. John Gruden is one of my favorite personalities in sports. Yeah.
What if then they're like, we'll do this deal. You're on Monday Night Football, but you have to be on First Take. Do you like that? Will you watch that? Will you like that?
I don't even think he would like that.
Hey, I think you should do a cover story on him. That's a dream cover, boardroom cover story for you, right?
That would be fire.
That would be fun.
Mike Tomlin is a legend.
Maybe he's hearing this. He'll hear this because it's you, and then maybe he'll do that. Aaron Rodgers, last of him. Any thoughts? Like, what did that do? Like, I hated it.
I didn't. I mean, this man's 41, still out there giving himself to the game, man. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, and I mean, if he could come back and play, that'd be amazing. But if not, yeah, with 21 years in the league, come on, man. That's a generational athlete, in my opinion. Somebody could last that long at that high of a level, at that position, like that's incredible. So whatever, like he's one of those guys too. Whatever he does in that next phase, if you want to play again, if you want to do other things,
Kevin, we're never going to hear from Aaron Rodgers again.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure.
You think?
Yes. He's not that
He
type
stayed
of guy.
away this year. I feel like he stayed very quiet this year.
He's still locked into football and trying to be a football player. But once that's done, you never know if what he wants to do with his life. But I know that he'll tackle everything with that same type of discipline that he had for 21 years in football.
You say that you're not as locked in during the season to the NFL. You literally are so locked in, and you went 5 for 6 on your wild card picks.
Yeah, but I'm not
FanDuel.
watching every snap like I usually.
Yes, you do. Don't discredit yourself. Yes, you do. You're amazing.
I watch 80% of the snaps.
We want to get your picks for the divisional round. Okay, here everybody needs to be on FanDuel. Kevin's there. I'm there. The Bills. They got the best player in the league. He's superhuman. He's tush pushing his way into whatever. Okay, they're favorites on the road over the 1 seed rested Broncos. Who wins and why? Kevin.
Man, around this time you just don't know, man, who's gonna win. Seriously, I don't know.
Can we talk about it? What's going through your head?
I seen Mile High, the defense, and with the Broncos, Surtain. You thinking about Bo? You thinking about Sean Payton? It's a tough man to pick that, but I'm gonna go with the Broncos because they defense and they got some potential.
Like Nick Bonito, he's gonna maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
Is he gonna touch him? Like I don't know. You can't stop the tush push. You know what the crazy thing is? The Bills are the ones that didn't want the tush push. They were like, we need to get this out of the game, and they would have lost to the Jags if they didn't have it.
Well, that's just how it goes sometimes.
So we're going Broncos. Broncos at home.
At home.
Sean Payton rested. Do you have questions about
the deciding factor was because they're at home and they're the 1 seed.
Yeah, it's a tough place to play.
It's a tough game to call, man, in my opinion.
Yes, not easy. The other AFC game, Texans, Patriots. Mr. Houston, Pat's favored. That one is in Foxborough. How does it go?
I'm going Texans.
Any reasons?
They got momentum right now. Defense is playing out of this world. We're going to see. But I'm taking the Texans.
Seahawks in the NFC favored big against the Niners in Seattle. George Kittle, so heartbreaking. He leaves the game. He's done for the year.
No.
That was awful.
I know.
Who gets the win?
I didn't play a good ball. That was a great win against the Eagles. But once again, I mean, the team was well rested at home, playing great ball all season. 49ers a little banged up. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks.
Seahawks. Wow. Even though the Niners took care, you must have been happy the Eagles lost.
The Eagles was going through a lot of internally. Like this, you could tell. You seen this coming?
You saw this coming?
Yeah.
Okay, love that. And then to cap off the divisional round, the Bears, underdogs at home to Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Devontae Adams, former Packer, gets to go up against the Bears again, who he kills in his career. Who goes to the NFC Championship?
I'm going Rams, man.
Really?
Rams. I know. I just say I want Caleb to do his thing and to win, but the Rams, man. What Puka doing out there? Then you got Tay. Then you got Kyron. Then of course Matt Stafford playing like an MVP. The offense is just insane. So it's gonna be a great game, but I'm going Rams. I want to see the weather too. I know that's gonna play a factor.
Yeah. I think the low is 11, high 17, some snow.
Goodness gracious. 11 degrees playing football, that's sick. Rams, Seahawks, NFC championship game.
What would be the perfect Super Bowl? I'm not asking for your picks. What would be like if you were like, oh, maybe I'll hop a flight and get to San Francisco to see the game. What's the matchup that you'd want to see?
I'm going to go Rams, Texans.
You love the Texans. I knew this was going to happen, Kevin. I told you this was going to happen.
I want to see C.J. Stroud in a big game with that defense and D'Amico Ryan. I want to see that. And I want to just see what Houston's going to look like when they make it to the Super Bowl. So
this is amazing. Exactly what I wanted to hear you say with the Texans. I love that very much. Hey, really quick before you go, if dunking all over every NBA team for the millionth time in a row doesn't work out for you, maybe you should be a photographer. You know how like all these you see all these like
I've seen that.
and like all these people are taking photos like with the Marshawn Lynch thing. You know, you've seen this, right?
I've done that though, man. I did the Super Bowl already, Kay. That was that's my work.
Kevin, this is you were the first person to do this, I was told.
This was my work, man. That's what I'm saying. Trendsetter, beacon. Iconic.
What was this like? It was Panthers, Broncos, I think Super Bowl 50. What do you remember about this? You were the icon that started this trend that the NFL is doing now.
What I remember is the night before I dropped 40 on the Warriors, even though we lost, but I dropped 40. And then the next night I was just down on the field watching them warm up. I watched the coaches walk. I was just so close to the action, man. Super Bowl on the field, man. Oof. I seen it right in front of me. It was just dope.
Iconic. You're the best. Thank you. Thank you for your picks. We'll see how we do.
All right, Kay.
Good luck. Good to see you. Kevin Durant is just my favorite to interview. I just love him. Trendsetter, beacon, iconic. Well, let me just tell the internet. I will ask Kevin about passing Walt on an all-time scorer list, or like where something about like even the dunking. He's like, I'm just an efficient player, okay? The right away, great line by the way. And then you bring up the photography out of nowhere. I asked that question. We just like came upon it, and I decided to end with it. And he's trendsetter, beacon, icon. He's so fucking funny, right? Like what? I don't like.
To pull out just off those three words to talk about himself.
Trendsetter. Yeah. He was like seeing his work and feeling it. He was like, yeah, that is a good shot of Peyton's 18, okay?
Look at Luke Kuechly's hair there.
I love that the NFL's do. I've got such a kick out of the photography, but it's like, it's been very loud.
Don't forget who was there first.
Let's not forget the trendsetter, beacon, iconic. If we cut that up and put it on a vert, can we include some of this banter in it, you think, Matt? And then can we also tag, like, NFL? That'd be great.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
It's very cool, that thing that they're doing, more and more.
Yeah.
So we got some odd cities here. I don't know where that Canada Goose is.
Well, that already thinking about that cold.
Oh, I don't want to buy. You know how expensive those are? Because really, it'd be like a burner. I need to go to Zara and get a burner, but then I won't be warm.
Yeah.
You know that
what happened? Oh, you lit the one, the Baltimore one. You lit on fire.
They have these torpedo heaters, but there's no there's a flame, but like it's And I was just like Chad Ochocinco was my Tony Richardson. He was lead block. I was just like holding on to Chad, and I was running behind him. He was just laying people out. Nobody was bothering me. He all access pass, does whatever he wants. This was in Baltimore on Thanksgiving when the Bengals beat them. And we're on the, of course he's a Bengals friendly, as am I. And I'm standing on the sideline. I'm wearing this like very fake fur coat, and I singed the entire back. It was like flat. The fact that I didn't, truly, I should wake up grateful every day that I did not blow up in flames, because I'm sure I was like 4 seconds from that, and God's sitting up there like, this bitch.
That would have kept you. That would have kept you warm, though, at least.
Dracarys. Yeah, great. Welcome back to the Up and Adam Show. Let's get a little odd here on the show. Divisional rounds. Here's some odd cities. What are those? Let me tell you. Standout statistics that give you an edge on FanDuel Sportsbook. First one. Bears tight end Colston Loveland. Mr. Baby, let me love you. Is that the song? What does he sing? What was his rookie song? I digress. The entire NFL, he's leading them in receiving over the last 3 weeks. Everyone putting up over 100 yards per game over that span. That's kind of wild, no? Is that sort of odd? He finished the season super strong. I was really curious to see what happened with Rome Odunze back in the lineup against the Packers. Guess what? Loveland's targets, they went up. He had a 137-yard explosion, double-digit targets in each of those games. Kind of become a number one option for Caleb, no? Number one option in the NFL, yes? Why, oh why then? Is his line for receiving 54.5 yards this weekend? Smash the over, that's odd and weird, and do that. Okay, next up. Patriots running back. We have to talk about this. Ramondre Stevenson. I don't even understand the math on this. He's averaging 10 yards per touch over his last 5 games. The only other running back who's done that in a 5-game span while getting at least 10 touches a game during the entire Super Bowl era is AK-41, Alvin Kamara, back in 2017. That's fun. Look at these numbers. Ramondre's been on a tear since coming back from that toe injury, averaging over a touchdown per game, by the way, too. Touchdown scorer on FanDuel Sportsbook. Do that. I know the Texans' defense is great, but I also know Ramondre's line for combined rushing and receiving, so touches, it's 62.5. That's stupid. What are we doing? That's stupid. One area of the Texans' defense, by the way, has been a little sus. Running backs in the passing game. Just something to think about. Last one. Over the last month, this Rams run defense has allowed just under 6 yards per carry to opposing running backs. Now, what does that mean? Well, if this isn't a night where you see DeAndre Swift and this third-ranked Bears rushing attack take over, I don't know what is! Ben Johnson has not been leaning on the run game as much as we've seen. Rome's back, all that's going on. Like, Caleb's taking his shots. I don't know. I think they're going to run. You can get Swift, by the way. His rushing yard line on FanDuel Sportsbook, 54.5. Disrespectful. And I think he's going to have a great game. FanDuel, by the way, in playoff mode. That means you choose your own reward. Each round of the playoffs, FanDuel customers can choose a no-sweat bet or profit boost. Get there, do that. Download it if you don't have it. It's playoff mode on FanDuel.